Hello and welcome to episode 44 of 10,000 Stitches podcast, a weekly chit chat all about the joys of sock knitting. My name is Andy and I feel super hot and sweaty and gross because I just walked home from work and it's warm outside today, very warm for like mid-October. So I'm sorry that I am all sweaty and gross, but you know, this is how life goes sometimes. It's not always pretty. Anyway, my name is Andy and I like to make socks, and if you wanted to find me on the interwebs, you could find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry as Purlbug, P-U-R-L-B-U-G. You can find my blog at thepurlbug.com, and we have the 10,000 Stitches podcast group on Ravelry. I was also running around like crazy trying to gather up everything because I'm currently recording on Monday, October 17th, and it's about 5:30 in the evening, and so my sunlight is rapidly fading, so I wanted to try and like get everything pulled together before I lost all my sunlight. But I think I need to change into shorts, so I will be... Anyway, okay, let me finish up the intro and then I'll go change into shorts and then come back. So if you wanted to find links to anything that I mentioned today, any like shops or like patterns or anything, if you're watching this on the blog or on the Ravelry thread for this episode, everything will be linked right below the video. And if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description box below the video will be a link to the blog post for this episode, and then you can go there and find everything below the video. Okay, I'm gonna go change into shorts because I put on sweatpants as soon as I got home and I am now roasting, so I'll be right back. Oh, bare legs, much better. We're having like a minor little heat wave here right now. So yeah, like I got used to it being pretty chilly and now it's really warm again. Or it's been really warm for the past couple of days. Anyway, like I said, I'm recording this on Monday evening, so I don't have a plan. I kind of ran out of time to do it yesterday and I'm just winging it. So we'll follow the typical format. We'll talk about finished objects, works in progress, what's coming up next. We'll talk about the knit along. We'll talk about some stash enhancements, acquisitions, new stuff. And then we'll see if I come up with a question of the week before then. And then we'll do chit chat. So I have no idea how long it's going to be. My guess is that this might be a little bit longer one, but if it looks like it's getting too long, maybe I'll try and shorten it down a little bit. But yeah, finished objects. I am pretty sure that when I recorded last time, I did not have these finished. These are my paranormal mitts. They were the paranormal socks, and like I said, I'll link patterns and stuff down below, which I then turned into fingerless mitts because they were turning out to be a little bit too tight. So this is what they look like on. So the pattern goes all the way up the back. And then I did just sort of a basic vertical stripe pattern on the palm. And then just like horizontal stripes on the thumbs. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with them. I've been wearing them quite a bit. Not within the past couple of days though, because like I said, it's been kind of warm. But they're very nice when I'm at work and like my hands get cold in my office. And so yeah, really, really enjoying these. And I am definitely thinking that probably... in the future, I will be knitting many more fingerless mitts because I really enjoyed that, and I forget how much fun those are and how nice it is to have something that's not like socks, you know, to where I don't have to worry about washing it every single time I use it. So yeah, those were really fun. And that's my finished object. So my work in progress, well, I have two. Like I said, I was going to be doing 2 whips going at once. One of them, which I don't have here, is my pair of Perfect socks. It's the Regia Perfect. And those are currently at my office. I basically took them there last week and left them at my office all week, and I brought them home and worked on them over the weekend. And so one of them is done, and then I am working, you know, I'm about that far into the other one. But those are kind of living at my office so that I don't have to keep carrying them back and forth. So I don't have that to show you, but I assume that I will be finished with it by next week, so I will have a finished object for, you know, to show you with that. And then my other work in progress, I had said that I was going to be starting the pucker socks, and I did start the pucker socks, and then I just didn't like them. I don't know, I think it was again just me being a very tight knitter, but it's not that I didn't enjoy the way that they were looking, but I found the knitting of them itself to be very hard on my hands with the way the stitches were slipped and stuff. So I decided to frog that. I was only, again, about that far in. I'd done the ribbing and not even a full chart repeat, and then I just decided that it wasn't for me. I do recommend the pattern. I think the pattern is great, and I would like to maybe try it again at some point with different needles and maybe different yarn. But with the yarn and the needles and everything, they were just not working out for me. But it's a well-written pattern. It's a great chart, so I don't not recommend it, but it wasn't working for me. So anyway, I decided to... Well, I was looking for you know, what I could do with the Zauberball, because I was using my crazy Zauberball, and I was like, well, I really want to, you know, knit something with this now, so what else can I do with it? So I found a pattern, and I don't remember the name of it right now. I'll link it down below, but it was basically a pattern where someone had taken a crazy Zauberball and divided it in half, and they were knitting striped socks with each half of the Zauberball. So of course, like, each, you know, smaller ball of the Zauberball was going through its gradient, but you were striping them, so the gradient was like striping. Like I said, I'll link it, take a look at the projects, but like I couldn't actually find, it's a pattern page, but like there was nowhere to download the pattern, so that's really weird. I don't know, maybe if you're watching this in the future that will not be the case, but yeah, but I mean, I was pretty sure that I could figure it out. Basically, you just divide your Zauberball in half and you just stripe it, you know, it's not that tough. So I took it, you know, to work where I have a nice little scale, divided the Zauberball in half by weight, and then I cast on for the first one. So this is what the first one looks like. So I did the ribbing in one color, and then I started the stripes, so you can kind of see how this is working. So I think it'll be super fun, and then these are the two balls. So yeah, two halves of my Zauberball. I'm super excited about this, and like the nice thing is that other than the stripes, it's basically a vanilla sock, so it's, you know, going pretty quick. I'm sure that I am probably carrying my colors up the edge in like the messiest and least efficient way possible, but I don't really care, because like I don't care about, you know, if you can see the jogs and the stripes or anything, because I mean, really, who's going to be looking that closely at it? And I just don't care. You know what? It's just a sock, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let that stuff go. It's just a sock. So I'm just, you know, trying to not take it too seriously. But I'm super duper enjoying this, and I'm really excited to kind of see what happens as I get a little bit further on it and kind of see more of the color change happening. But yeah, that's my current work in progress number 2, I guess. So in terms of what's coming up next, I'm not planning any more colorwork socks coming up because, you know, like I said, it's the 17th, so we have, what, 2 more weeks in October? 2 more weeks as of today in October, and I'm not banking on that I will have these done significantly sooner than 2 weeks from now. So I'm basically just going to call those kind of my last colorwork socks for this kind of group of knitting. And so then what will be next is the sort of yarn enhancing patterns, right? That's kind of our next chunk of stuff. And so I think that, I don't remember what I have on my queue. Let me bring up my internet and hope that it doesn't screw up my recording, which is happening right now. I'm getting a beach ball. Let's see how this goes. Anyway, so the next one is the yarn enhancing patterns, and those are basically patterns that I'm kind of revising it to also call those sort of the like near vanilla or almost vanilla patterns, where basically they are just patterns that aren't vanilla. Like it's just, there's just a little something extra is kind of how I'm going to revise that. So on my queue, the next patterns I have are the Hermione's Everyday Socks and then the Geek Socks. So I think I'm actually going to do the Geek Socks first because I'm planning on making those for a friend of mine. And I guess that kind of gets us into some of the new stuff. I'll show off some of my new stuff, and then we'll talk about the knit along because I'm planning on making those Geek Socks with one of the new skeins of yarn that I have. So let's talk about new stuff. I think I'd mentioned before, this past weekend was my birthday weekend, so I got yarn as birthday gifts, which I'm not going to complain about. So I got 2 skeins from my mom that she said she got at the Minnesota State Fair, and it made me more sad that we couldn't go to the Minnesota State Fair this year, but they do a lot of like arts and crafts stuff there. Like they have a big like arts and crafts section and stuff. So she said she found some people who were selling yarn, and they helped her pick out some yarn for me. So this one is from Blackberry Hills, which is in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. And this is called the Farm Blend, and it's 80% wool, 20% mohair. And this is what it looks like. It's this really pretty sort of kind of steely gray, and then like some really bright pinky purple. It's a little bit more purple in real life than what's showing up on camera, but it's pretty close. So this one I will probably make into like a hat, I'm thinking, because it's not exactly next to skin soft. I mean, it's hat soft, but it's not next to skin soft. So like neck soft. So I think this one will become a hat, and I think that will be very nice. And it's a single as well. So like I don't want it to be anything that's going to get too much wear and tear. So I think a hat will be really good. So that's one of them. And then the other one is from I don't know if Honeygold Acres is the dyer. It had a card with it too, which I've of course put somewhere else, and I don't know where it is. I think Honeygold Acres. And so this must be like a sport weight or a DK weight, because it's 274 yards per 100 grams. But this is a 75-25 merino nylon, and it's these really pretty blues and purples and kind of grays, and there's little flecks of like brown in there as well, or kind of gold colors. So I'm super excited about this one. It's just very, very pretty. And I don't know what I will make with this. I think this one is so pretty that I think I will probably make something, and this one's very soft too. So I'll probably make like a cowl or like a shawl or something, a shawlette or something out of this one. But yeah, so those are the two skeins that she sent me. And then I also got some yarn that Wesley's parents bought me, because I think I mentioned that they are in town this weekend. So we went to check out a new yarn store that I'd never been to before, and it is called Knitting Bee. And it is here in Richmond. I think I mentioned that I'd been to another knitting store here in Richmond that I just don't like very much. I like this one much more. I think this will become my new sort of, typical knitting store that I go to here in town when I want like a real knitting store and not something like John Fabrics or something. But yeah, so we went there and they bought some yarn for me too. So one of the things they got me, I had just been kind of gathering up things because I was like, oh, this is cool, I want this. And I didn't realize that they just were going to buy the things that I was picking out. So yeah. But I found a sock ruler, which I don't know if like for someone who knits socks a lot, I'm surprised that I didn't have one of these before. I'd seen them on Etsy a lot, and I just never bought one. Because like they're not super expensive, but that's kind of the reason I didn't buy one, was because it was like, I was wind up having to pay about as much in shipping as the thing itself costs. And then it's like, So to find it in a store, I was super excited. So basically what it is it's just a piece of plastic, and on one side it has inches. So this side has inches, and then this side has centimeters. And, it's nice and rounded on the end. So you can either use it just to kind of slip your sock over it and kind of measure like how far you've gone. So kind of just like that. So you can measure like how long the leg of your sock is. Or because the end is rounded, and of course I don't have any hand knit socks around here. I will grab one so I can show you guys how it works. Okay. This is the first sock I saw. So you can, because it's rounded, you can kind of stick it in, and either if like you're knitting toe up, you can just stick it into the toe, or you can stick it into the heel of a sock. So like this one, I would kind of stick into like the heel of the sock, so the bottom is right down in here. And then you can see how long your leg is. And so that way you can measure how long the leg is, or how long the foot is, in my case. So yeah, super handy, super great product. I highly recommend. I don't know how I went so long without one, because now that I have one, I'm like, I never want to not have it again. So yeah, sock ruler. And then I got a couple of pairs of needles, because I was short a needle or two. Like I had one and a half, but I prefer to, do two circulars. And because these are wood, I decided to buy a pair, and I'll, kind of see how I like them. But these are the Knitter's Pride, and I think I have a Knitter's Pride, but I've never used wooden sock needles, so I'm interested to kind of see what those are like. I know some people really like wooden sock needles because they're easier on your hands and they give a little bit more, but I worry that I will break them. So I guess we will see how those work out for me. I haven't even opened them yet. And then the yarn. So this is what I'm gonna make the geek socks out of. This is Plymouth Yarns Diversity. And if you've been around for a while, you'll know that I have knit with this before. It is a 93% acrylic, 7% elastic yarn. And I've made socks for my father out of this because he can't wear wool. And I liked it just fine. I didn't like that the last one seemed to not be dyed very well. Like that was kind of annoying. So we'll see how this one is. But I got this because I really just like the colors. So you can see kind of the green and the yellow and the orange, and then you can actually see it kind of poking out. There's also pink and purple stripes in there. So I thought that was just super duper fun colors. And I sent a text to my best girlfriend who I've knit socks for before, and I've knit her wool socks before, but that was before she was vegan, and she's vegan now. And so I sent her a picture of this and I was like, would you like some vegan socks? And she's like, yes. So, because this kind of does the self-striping, I will be knitting a pair of geek socks out of this for her and sending them her way. So I'm kind of excited for that. And yeah, so that's the first one. And then they also got me this, which is Cascade Heritage Quattro. And the colorway is, it's color 5664. It's sort of one of these like barber pole sort of yarns. And it's brown with lighter browns. And this one, I think I will probably make a pair of socks for Wesley. I picked it out specifically to make a pair of socks for him because, I've made him socks before and I haven't made him any in quite a while. And, I asked him what color would you like? And he said brown because he wears brown shoes a lot and he doesn't have any brown socks. So I will make him a pair of brown socks. And then the last one is just a skein of Trekking Sport, which is a 75-25 superwash wool nylon blend. I've never used this before, but it seems like a really nice, sturdy German yarn, made in Germany, on the label. And the color is 1437, which is just black, like it's just a black yarn. And this one I want for doing like heels and toes in socks that I don't want to do the heel and toe in the color that the sock is. So like with my Zauberball socks, right, I don't want to interrupt the striping or the gradients. So I mostly was thinking about this for that, right? I'll just do the heel in this color, and that way I don't have to deal with screwing up the stripes at all. So yeah, this one is basically just going to be used piecemeal for heels and toes. And I think that's it. What is... Oh, and then this was just their card. So I will link to that shop. If you ever happen to be in Richmond, I definitely recommend stopping by. And they're open every day, I think, which is nice. Because I know a lot of yarn stores tend to not be open every day. Like they're closed one day a week. And this place is apparently open every day. Oh, and I totally forgot. I took video while I was there. So as long as it didn't get corrupted on my phone or something, I will insert that video sometime around here. And I was just walking around the shop kind of showing what they have. They have most of the standard stuff. They have a lot of the kind of standard brands and a fair amount of variety and a super cute puppy that was there. So yeah, I will put in that video here. Okay, so you should have just seen the yarn store. So let's talk a little bit about the knit along. That was the end of the new stuff that I have, so yay. So let's talk about the knit along. We currently, as of like while the last chunk was saving and I was getting ready to record this bit, we have 9 finished objects. So we're creeping up there, but don't feel like you can't still get some in. We have, like I said, 2 weeks left. So definitely, I think time to do, a pair of like just striped socks if you want to do that, or like a pair of broken seed stitch socks or something like that. So yeah, hopefully we'll see more FOs in that thread. I wanted to show the prize yarn just one more time. That's kind of what that looks like. Whoop. I have not gotten the rest of the prize yet. I am planning on getting a project bag to go along with it. I just haven't. I was kind of actually hoping that they might have some, at this yarn store, because I know some yarn stores sell project bags from like local knitters. They didn't. I actually, well, we'll see. I'm planning on picking up a project bag at some point. So yeah. And I've been pondering the next knit along, right? So I think I kind of maybe hinted at this when I was talking about what I'm planning on doing for the next knit along, or for the next chunk of stuff. But, so right, the next knit along, the theme is, yarn enhancing patterns, which I'm going to sort of, subtitle with, just not vanilla, right? It's basically anything that's not vanilla. So something that is just a little bit more, something that just adds a little bit of flair to a sock. But I'm also thinking about allowing other types of projects as long as they're knit with sock yarn, right? Because, I've had that skein that I'm not going to go dig out of the closet right now, but I have that skein of, what is it? Madeline Tosh, right? The really beautiful sort of dark teal skein of Madeline Tosh that I got last Christmas, that I keep saying, oh, this is going to become a hat because it's a single and it's 100% merino, and I'm just like, I don't want to make this into socks. And so, to me, sometimes the best pattern is not socks, right? Sometimes sock yarn just shouldn't be used for socks, because, sometimes it's just not, maybe resilient enough, or it's just too pretty to, keep on your feet all day. So I'm thinking about opening up this next knit along to other projects that use sock yarn, right? So if you wanted to do like a sock head hat with a fingering weight yarn, or if you wanted to do a pair of fingerless mitts or regular mittens, or like a shawlette or something like that, I'm thinking about opening it up to other projects and just kind of saying, well, as long as it's sock yarn, by all means. And of course, socks in there as well. But like, I know I have a couple skeins of yarn now that are fingering weight yarn that I don't want to knit socks out of, but I'd like to, get projects made out of those sooner rather than later. So let me know what you think about that, if people would be game for that. I realize it kind of, turns it into a slightly more general knit along, but, I will still be knitting primarily socks for it, but I just want to kind of open it up, especially because, the holidays are coming, and so a lot of people might be doing some holiday knitting, and so I want people to be able to submit that for, the knit along as well. So let me know your thoughts. I think it seems like a good idea, but, I've had bad ideas disguised as good ideas before, so who knows? But yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't have a question of the week. I can't come up with one on the fly. Sometimes I just have them, and sometimes I don't. But I am thinking, yes, I'm going to do this. So like I said, this was my birthday weekend, and I had lots of fun, and I'm sure I will continue to celebrate throughout the week because I said Wesley's parents were in town this past weekend, and they're out of town now, and then they'll be back in town next weekend, so I'm sure the celebrations will continue. But I wanted to do a little bit of a very merry Unbirthday giveaway to you guys. So, back a while ago, I had ordered some Knit Picks Fleechy, and I ordered an extra 2 skeins in my all-time favorite colorway of the Fleechy, which is the Time Traveler. And I had said that I was going to be just kind of hanging on to them and waiting for the opportune time, and I have decided that now is the opportune time. So, especially because I think Knit Picks Fleechy is sold out for this year now again. So, I think. But anyway, so I wanted to give away these 2 skeins of Knit Picks Fleechy, and then probably whatever else I decide to stuff into an envelope. So I usually wind up throwing in like little notebooks and cute pencils and stuff like that. So who knows? Who knows what else will wind up in there? But for sure, these 2 guys. So this is going to be sort of a really quick and dirty giveaway. I will run it through... well, let's see. So this episode will go live on October 18th. So it will run until I put the next episode live. So it'll basically run from October 18th through, I have to look at a calendar now. From Tuesday the 18th, whenever I put this episode live, through to basically end of the day on Monday the 24th, right? Because I put the episodes live pretty early on Tuesdays. So it'll just be a week. And I will do it the same way that I typically do my giveaways, where because, I want to include people who, maybe don't have Ravelry or Instagram or something like that. So I will put a form on the blog, which I will link to below here if you're not watching this on the blog. Otherwise, the form will be right there. But I'll put a form on the blog, and basically you'll just need to put in your first name and an email address where I can reach you if you win. And I will that'll be it. Super easy. So very low barrier to entry. And I'll pick a winner next week. So yeah, 2 skeins of Knit Picks Felici, and then whatever else I decide should go into the envelope. Quick and easy, dirty giveaway. Sweet. Awesome possum. So yeah, I think that's it for the knitting stuff. Yeah, I think so. So if that's all you're here for, make sure you go enter the giveaway. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Otherwise, if you want to hear about the last week of my life, which has been very, very busy, hang around and let's chat about that stuff. All right, so the past week of my life, I guess I already talked about the weather. It was nice and cool for a while, and now it's really warm. What else? So last week was sort of a quieter week at work because, like I said, I had kind of finished those big projects that needed to be finished, and so I just kind of had a week where I could just kind of breathe a little bit. So that was really nice. I'm looking through my little sort of daily log right now, trying to figure out what it is that I even did. I didn't do a lot. Like, work was pretty slow. Work was really slow. Basically most of the week was just sort of like just going on autopilot, just sort of, doing the things and all of that. On Friday, we had a meeting. So the College of Humanities and Sciences here just got a new dean this year, I think, or like this academic year. So we had a faculty meeting with her, which was interesting. I mean, I always feel sort of powerless when I go to these faculty meetings because they're really geared towards the research faculty and not like the teaching faculty like me. So, I don't know. It's always sort of a weird dynamic because I always just feel like they kind of look at the teaching faculty as like, well, you guys aren't going to be here for very long. So they just kind of ignore us. I don't know. But it was just Friday, and it was, I don't know, it was a weird thing. So we had that. And then we had a talk, like, I think I've talked before that like every Friday they have these colloquia, and some of them are really bad, but this one was really good. This was one of the professors who's here. He's one of the research faculty, and he was talking about his research, and his research is really interesting, and he just gave a really good talk. Like, I understood the whole thing, even though it's not my field. And he just explained things in a really good way and didn't go over our heads. And it was just a really good talk, and I enjoyed that. And then began the weekend of crazy. So I'm trying to think. I think Wesley's parents got in on Friday evening. So, but like we thought they were getting in later than they actually were. So we went and got dinner after the talk on campus because we were like, well, his parents are going to be getting in kind of late, so we'll get some dinner, and then, if they want to go out for something, we'll just, get a little something. So we got barbecue at a barbecue place near campus, only to find out, like, as soon as we got home, his parents were like, well, we're here. We're like, what the heck? How did this happen? And I think they mixed up the, like, time change thing. So then we basically went out for a second dinner, where we split something. But, so then we went out for dinner again. And then, I actually went into an arts and crafts store, AC Moore, that was right by where we went to dinner, and I picked up washi tape, which washi tape has become like one of my new favorite things. So I picked up these 3 washi tapes, a nice Halloween one and a Christmas one and sort of a shiny gold one. And then, And on Friday, we found out that Wesley's car is done being repaired, but we can't get it. Like, they called us at the end of the day on Friday to the point where it's like, well, we can't possibly get there in time. And then no one's there over the weekend. And I tried. I called being like, hey, can someone please get us our car? Nope. And now, of course, we don't have time to go get it until Thursday. So it's like super frustrating because we know that it's ready and it's just sitting there and we can't go get it. So boo. Boo, Volkswagen. Boo. But yeah, and then, so then Saturday was when we went and visited the knitting store and went to Whole Foods where I got some apple pie. Like, I decided I didn't want a birthday cake, I wanted a birthday pie. And they have really good gluten-free pies at Whole Foods, so I got a birthday pie there. And then we had lunch at this burger place that was spelled burger and then B-A-C-H. And I will, if I remember right, I'll try and put that text up on the screen. But I would pronounce that as Burger Bach, right? Bach as in like the German composer. And we kept like joking about it like Burger Bach, you know, just like really, really making fun of the name. And we get in there and then it says that it's pronounced Burger Batch. And like it's apparently some New Zealand sort of themed burger place. And we're just like, Burger Batch, I don't like it. But it was very good, but it was very overpriced. And like, I don't know that I would necessarily go there again. Because it was like, it wound up being about like $20 a person when all was said and done for just like a burger and fries. And I mean, the burgers were good, but I don't know that they were like $20 a burger good. So, but it was tasty. And then we went home and rested for a little bit, and then his parents came over here and we cooked pizza for dinner, and that was really, and then just sat around and hung out for a while. So that was fun. And then yesterday, I went to the gym and I finally hit half my body weight on bench press, which, I mean, it's not very much. It's only 75 pounds, but it's, you know, it's kind of like one of those like landmark things that I've been like, that was the last big lift that I had to hit that on. And so it felt good to feel strong about things. So yay. And then we took Wesley's parents then to campus and showed them around campus a little bit. Well, we showed them the physics building. We didn't make it over to the building that I work in, but we showed them the physics building, and then we got barbecue again at the same place. And then we went to Target, and this is the first time that Wesley and I have been to Target since the car got hit, so in like 6 weeks or something. So we just went crazy at Target and finally picked up Halloween lights. I know I mentioned it like a couple weeks ago that I was looking for Halloween lights, and I was going to order them online, but like I just didn't, and I don't know why, but for me it's like almost more work to order things online than to like just go to a store and buy them, because, you know, like when you live in an apartment, it's always kind of tough to be like deal with the delivery thing. So finally picked up Halloween lights, so I'm probably going to get those hung up tonight. And if I do, maybe I'll try and take a picture and like put it in here if I can get those hung up and done before I edit this, but no promises. So we got Halloween lights, got more washi tape, of course, more washi tape, pretty washi tape. And then we had pho for dinner at this Vietnamese place that's super good. And it was Wesley's father's and maybe his mom's first time having pho. And like Wesley and I just love it, but it was their first time and they really liked it. So that was pretty fun. And like his dad's not very adventurous, so I was surprised that he liked it, but it was, yeah, pretty good. He's not food adventurous. Like he is much more of a burger guy than like a pho kind of guy, but it was very good. And then we got home just late and we were both so tired. And then today I was just super tired all day, just kind of worn out from the weekend. You know, I was just like having a weekend fun hangover all day. So, I'm definitely going to bed early tonight and, yeah, but Wesley is not home yet. It's now about 6:10 and he's not home yet. He has class right now. And then I think he said he was going to stay on campus a little bit later. So I have the house to myself for a little bit. So I think I'm going to put in a pizza and just hang out for a little while and do some knitting and get this edited and uploaded and everything. And yeah, we found this fun new show. I'll probably be watching some of this show. Well, I'll wait till Wesley gets home. But we found this fun new show on Netflix that is called Skin Wars, I think it is. And it's this like competition reality show. And like we love these shows. Normally we watch cooking ones, but This one is all about body painting. And we watched the first season of it. Like, we binge watched the first season over the weekend, and I think there's 2 more seasons. But it's just really interesting because it's really cool to see what these people can do, like, artistically with body painting. But it's also interesting because, like, these people are just the strangest characters, you know, like they take like artsy folk to like a whole new level. And so it's just very funny to watch, and we've really been enjoying it. So if you are into those kind of like reality competition shows, I highly recommend it. And while there is like nudity, I guess, I mean, the models on the show are always wearing underwear, and they're always wearing like pasties. So, I mean, you're never seeing anything that like TV censors deem as being inappropriate. But like, if you are not quite comfortable with more or less naked people, then I don't recommend it. But I think it's great fun, and it's just hilarious to watch the contestants. So yeah, highly recommend if you're into that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I am tired and I feel really dehydrated and I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go make some dinner and drink some water and just rest from the day. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thanks very much for hanging out, and if you haven't, do make sure you go and enter the little Very Merry Unbirthday giveaway, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!